Jules finally got her memory back, and we saw what happened during the fire. Yes, it was a very common episode of Silo, and we're here to discuss it on a brand new episode of Unbinged starting now. Welcome to Unbinged, the podcast talking about all the shows and movies you love to binge. It's me, Jagger May. That's Alfredo Brown, and that's Matt Kaufhammer. And this is a review of Silo Episode 5. Before we get going, Alfredo, you get to give the spoiler warning for the first time ever.
This is a spoiler warning for everything from Silo Season 3, Episode 5. If you haven't watched it, please keep watching this episode, but put it on mute. It helps the algorithm.
Oh, I love it.
I love it. CTA action in there.
Yeah, homies working while giving the spoiler warning.
Not just a hat rack, my friend.
Not just a hat rack. Jules got her memory back. I know we've been waiting on this the entire, 5 episodes now. Alfredo, I know you don't like Common. We get to see all of this play out through
he's probably a fine person.
Well, you don't like his acting. Let's put it that way. You don't like his acting. How did all of this play out for you this episode?
This was some of his best work that he's done in this show. I think we got to see a little bit more of his range. It still wasn't much, but there was a little bit more range, and I think he was able to carry the episode when he was on screen. It wasn't something where the episode came to a screeching halt. And I genuinely feel like, as a viewer, I kind of feel like I get my memory back a little bit because I feel like I'm enjoying the show again now. We got past the whole intermission of Jules not having her memories and what's going on out here. And now we just have the answers and okay, cool. We can get right back to the story. So I feel very much, I know I've been saying this since episode 1 that we are supposed to feel like Jules. I feel like Jules because I feel like I'm back in it now.
Yeah, and I will say it not even just from his acting standpoint, even the complaints story-wise that I have, I felt that they corrected, and even if they don't say it directly, the part where he gets really emotional and he's like, my kid changed that day and I changed too. You really felt that he's like, man, what I do to people every day is fucking awful. I think that was the first time when Jules came in and someone scared him, he understood what he does to other people. He understood who he actually is to other people. Because when you're just working in your bubble, you think everything that you do is justified. So Koff, for you've been on this ride as well. You've been the sleepiest motherfucker on the planet. Were you awake for this one? Did this have you locked in?
Yes, this episode actually got me to stay awake and focus. I like what you put about Bob Sims finally realizing the terror that he inflicts as part of judicial. And, it's fascinating to see that kind of mirror held up to somebody that's in a fascist regime and to have them come to that self-realization moment. And now we see them working for the opposition because they finally realize, I'm doing bad things. And we kind of get a little bit of it with Bernard, but I feel like he is still self-serving because he just doesn't want to die. So he is utilizing the information and knowledge he has to try to leverage that for his own well-being. And so it feels like Sims and Bernard are kind of two sides of the same coin where they both know more than they should. They have some leverage, but they're utilizing it in different ways, if that makes sense.
It's the burden of too much knowledge.
Yes. Yeah.
And the original
exactly. And I'll save this to the end, but that is the point of a huge point of the Silo novels books, right? In this show. Acknowledges that that's the point and oftentimes ignores that that's the point. But before we go, make sure to hit the like, subscribe. It helps us a lot. And if you're on a mobile device, hit the hype button. That also helps somehow. I don't know why we have a third way to like, but YouTube has done that for us. And if you're on Apple, Spotify, basically anywhere else, even the weird places where people get podcasts, leave us a review, particularly on Apple. You guys are a very, very stingy crowd. 5 stars helps us out a lot. And we got a lot of things coming for you. Every Monday, we have House of the Dragon. Ted Lasso's coming up. It's a little bit different for what we do, but everyone loves that show, and we're here to talk about it. Then on Thursday nights, Silo right here, as you guys know. And then in 2 weeks, we have the finale of X-Men 97. We're going to cover that entire season. We know you guys have been watching already, and Koff, you're already caught up. It fucking slaps. And then after that, after House of the Dragon, we're going right into Lanterns. and I got a full blue vein throbber for that. And with that, I'm ready to segue back to you, Alfredo.
That's
I
great.
don't like that phrasing.
Yeah. Memory is the entire theme in this episode, and we get to see Bernard. And you talked about having the burden of knowledge. Bernard is the classic example of that. One of my favorite things they did with this episode was show us little moments that we get in the book that shows that Bernard is not all bad. Bernard is just as much a tool as Rob Sims is. If anything, Rob Sims is just a more Bernard is a more sophisticated Rob Sims. Does it work better bringing Bernard back now that we've seen a little bit of his purpose and we've seen a little bit more of a character shift?
I think so. I think if you are...
Yeah, sorry. I was just saying it only works if you utilize him.
Thank you, Alfredo.
As a foil. Well, you didn't say Alfredo.
He did.
I did.
As a foil. Did you really? My bad.
Yes.
You're halfway
You're
there,
going
man.
now.
You're 2 pumps in. Keep going. I'm gonna let you finish.
Well, now I'm done. So no, I'm just kidding. Keep him as a foil to Camille, and then that'll keep him interesting. But if you bring him back just to do nothing with him, then it could be a big red flag of writing being not what it needs to be.
See, the thing is, to me, is that if you were going to bring him back, you needed to bring him back for something that exposes something new to the audience. And they've done that now with showing what Camille is going through with the algorithm and the fact that, like, he has been on that side as well, right? And even just talking about it now in this episode is that what this voice has you do and tells you to do and makes you do, it's horrible. And it's a side of you that you don't want to be. And Jag, to kind of go back to your question now, it's like, it almost feels like we get to the point where we realize that almost nobody, and maybe I'm overstating this, but almost nobody in this silo is actually bad or inherently bad, but they get influenced to do bad things. It's kind of like the way we talk about kids. Like, kids aren't born racist, they're taught to be racist. Like, it's like, it may be in the silo because of how siloed they are. There's probably not as many evil people or inherently bad people, but when you get the algorithm and you get something that is trying to just jostle for power and keep the hierarchy the way it is, that's where that evil starts to come in. And I think that's, if you're going to bring back, oh my gosh, what's our guy's name? I just forgot his name. Bernard. Thank you. I almost called him Rob. Bernard, I think it needs to be for a good reason. And right now, to go with what you're saying, Koff, yeah, I think it's a mix of both of these things. You get an insight to the algorithm in Camille, but you also get someone who can be an opposing force to her.
I know. I go back to think about how things are made. You know, we cover TV and movies, so I understand why things get made the way they are from a money production standpoint. And I think season 2 was such kind of like I don't want to call it a misstep. I guess it was a misstep that they're trying to correct things already, you know, because that moment with Bernard would have made so much sense as it did, like in the context of like the book where everything's going to shit. Bernard loses it. And Bernard's just like, I'm just trying to keep everyone fucking alive. Like, I'm doing what I'm told, they'll fucking kill us all. Cause that's essentially where he's at. And I don't know why they do the whole, well, only 3 people have been down here and seen this room within like the life of the silo. That's going to be a mystery for me, but I felt like if Bernard was going to be head of IT, he would know about that failsafe, and that would be the incentive for him to do so many bad things. It doesn't make sense. Well, a voice in the sky told me to. I was like, okay, well, what can that nigga do? You know, just to tell him to go fuck himself. You know? So all it took was a voicemail for you to murder people.
and that's what I think is most fascinating, because I think Bernard did know about the safeguard before Lucas Kyle, because Lucas Kyle comes to him as like, hey,
he did thing.
He's like, oh yeah, you found
Lucas Kyle told him, you know.
Yeah. See, here's where I think we maybe either I'm wrong or you're wrong, because I distinctly remember Lucas Kyle going to the room, getting the voice, blah 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 blah, learns about the safeguard, goes back to Bernard, and then Bernard's like, oh yeah, he found out about the safeguard. Like, he had never been to that room, but he knew about the plan. Because you're right. Otherwise, why would he do anything the voice tells him to do? Because when he's down, he's burned up, he's talking to Shirley and Knox. He's like, yeah, I did some horrible things, but I did it for the protection of the silo. Because he knew that if he did not follow those orders, the silo would have gotten wiped out. So he knew about the safeguard. and that's why he justifies all his
Did
evil actions.
Did he specifically say he knew that everyone would get wiped out? Or did he do it because he thought it was in the best interest of the silo and he thought he was doing the right thing? What?
At the end of the day, what's the difference between those two things?
There's a massive difference, right? Like between if you're saying, okay, there's a big difference between like, we're just trying to stop rebellion because it's in the best interest of the silo versus, the silo's going to fucking murder all of us. There's a pretty stark contrast between those two things, right? And so like if he's sort of, I don't want to say blindly following orders, but following orders thinking he's doing the right thing versus I have to follow these orders because if not, the silo's going to murder us all. There's a little bit of a difference between his motivations.
I think it's the second one, but I could be wrong. Maybe I am wrong.
The ghosts on the other end of this show are screaming at us like, you guys don't fucking watch this episode. Comment down below. Let us know we do or don't watch.
Let us know who's right.
Actually, no, fuck you. I watched this episode and I read the book. It's their fault for us even having this conversation of why it's confusing.
There we go.
You know, like
there you go. You put it back on them.
Yeah,
it's the showrunner's fault.
It's your fault, Apple.
Yes. Okay. It's like, it's not our audience's fault. It's the showrunner's fault. Yeah. Because it's just like, it doesn't make a lot of sense as to why would the head of IT, who we know is the shadow ruler, not know this information, but like, okay, we're going to let your shadow know. It just, I need answers as to why they're diverting from certain things. And honestly, that's a distraction from all the other things happening, like Sheriff Billings, which is also, I think, a distraction because he's got his. I feel like we have Sheriff Billings on this merry-go chase to keep something happening for Sheriff Billings.
It's a B plot.
It is, but why?
Why? I was going to ask, man, can someone like explain? Like, I get the importance of like, we need these light bulbs. But at the same time, I'm like, why are we stopping traffic in the middle of the episode to be like, hey, man, we don't have enough light bulbs?
So that's what I'm interested in, is this secondary mystery, because we have the obviously we have the intrigue of like the silo is going to kill us because it can poison all of us with the pipe thing. So we have one timeline going there. Then we have the secondary timeline or time restraint where it's like, the silo is going to flood if we don't fix that thing, which Jules hasn't remembered yet either. And then the third time thing we have now is, we have 2 years worth of critical supply before we all die in the dark. So they're giving us all these different elements of like a time constraint storyline, but they're presenting it to us in these really varied and really non-linear ways. So it's really confusing as to what is exactly happening and what's the biggest threat at any single moment.
And I always just think like a writer. I'm like, what can I eliminate to make my words be more concise and deliver my plot in a faster way? Your time constraint is that they'll fucking kill you if you don't get your shit together. That's your time constraint. The light bulbs, okay.
How hard is it to make a light bulb? Like, you just need glass and the filament, right?
That's
Thomas Edison did it in a cave with scraps.
Exactly. I was expecting them to talk about like some sort of like critical system because they have like a computer chip they can't replicate. And then they're like, light bulbs. I'm like, the fuck? A light bulb is a really easy thing to make. I'm sorry.
Koff, talk to me after show, because that again, that's a whole thing that's talked about. It's bizarre, but that's kind of what I wanted to hit on here is like, cool, we have a time constraint. I don't think we needed this plot, but I think they're driving us back to the big mystery that we haven't talked about is Silo 17. Like
the other silos.
The other silo. If you're running out of supply in one silo, where are you going to get more supply if you only have a year or two, or you're going to starve yourself, or X amount of things are going to happen? So I think this is where the plot is kind of pushing everything, because like we saw Steve Zahn briefly in a flashback as, Jimmy Solo. They're still over there. There's still things happening. That's a whole ass place, that a lever that can be pulled. They've already released their safeguard over there. So it's safe for multiple reasons, not just the fact that they have supply. So I'm wondering, now that we have 10 episodes this season, if we're eventually going to start that migration, or we have some type of movement over there.
Right, because we have two other plot lines. We have 50 total silos that we can expand out into, and then B, Lucas Kyle has been in the mines for 3 or 4 months now. Was he just hiding, or was he trying to dig towards another silo? That's what I want. No one's asking the question of like, what the fuck are you doing in the mines?
I would say he's just hiding like that. And that would be an acceptable plot. Like the mines are widely known as like you're going to die within 5 years.
Wasn't it
That's the
inferred
whole
that
thing.
wasn't it inferred that he was digging horizontally?
Out, right? Like he was
Towards
trying to
another
go to
silo?
another silo is what I thought, but they never, as far as I remember, they haven't confirmed or denied what he was doing in the mines other than just kind of hiding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I want to, now that we have some of these stray elements talked about, I want to bring it back together to our central character of this episode, which is Robert Sims, who's gone from shadow leader and fixer to now Batman, I guess, like the silo Batman, if you really think about it. And I talked about this, I don't know, to episode 1 or 2. I'm fascinated with Common. I'm fascinated with the fixer element. I think it's like one of my favorite tropes in writing ever, because I feel like that in my own life here. And I think they hit on it more than anything, where you had Bernard shit talk him and say, you're not a curious person. He's clearly being driven by curiosity now, because it's like, why would you keep Bernard alive at that point? I still think you should just torture Bernard and have him spill everything right away. But now we see him working against his wife, Camille, and how far is he willing to go against his wife? And do you think, and Alfred, I'll start with you. Do you think that he's actually in his head working against his wife, or do you think he's working against the thing that's controlling his wife?
I think right now I would have to say he's inherently going against the thing that is controlling his wife. And it's more so because of the fact that his motivation is his son. It's not necessarily a me versus my wife or me versus the algorithm. It's me doing whatever it takes to keep my son alive and in his proper mental state. And I'm not a parent, but I can totally imagine what it's like being a parent. And like, obviously seeing that and what it's like, that's his sole motivation here. And I can get it too, like being on the other side. Like, I'm married, and if my wife can't tell me things anymore, and we are no longer a team, that shit'll break down real quick in a relationship, because like everything is based on trust. And if that trust is gone there, I don't necessarily think he's working against her, but I don't think he's working with her anymore. He's just doing what he can for himself and his child.
Especially with the whole vitamin D plus element here and the memory wipe action, because that's just, you got to think that's why they wouldn't make Robert Sims a shadow. And that Bernard kind of mentions that, is that Robert Sims is a soldier, and I think that's true a soldier, where he serves the silo for real, and he feels okay. It's like, hey, I'll kill someone if I genuinely think that they're going to disturb the silo, but he also didn't know, like, what the fuck and he did know a little bit, I guess. So I don't know, man. I guess I'm flip-flopping here, because it is the son element. I guess when you have kids, things changes for you, but It's a little hypocritical. But I guess it's the entire kid element thing. If he didn't have a kid, he'd probably just still be a soldier, I think. Cough, you hate kids. Where you at?
So I think it's twofold. I think obviously the son motivation is a big part of it, but I think the other part of it is he feels like he's no longer the special boy, because he's the one that found the room, went into the room, had the whole plan to get the key to get into the room, and the first thing the boy says is, "Get the fuck out! I'm going to talk to your wife instead." And I feel like he took that personally, and he took that as an affront and an offense. And so, yes, he is justifying his actions, saying, like, I'm doing it for my son. But at the end of the day, I think it's him trying to get his own pride back and to heal the wounds that he felt were inflicted upon him by this disembodied voice. So
I think it's connected.
Twofold.
I think it's connected, and you're right. It's, if he doesn't matter there to that voice anymore, and he's not as important there, who is he important to? And it's his son, right? Like his son, he is his number one priority to his son. His son is his number one priority to him. Without that, he really has nothing left. So if the only battle he can fight and win is to keep his son alive and in the proper mental state, then that's the battle he's going to choose to fight and hopefully win.
Yeah.
Right.
He's probably my favorite character at this point, and I didn't like him because I'm like, man, they're giving Sims, homie who gets talked about in passing in the book, a lot of burn. But again, they give it a character that
they kind of made him the architect of this episode, really.
That's what I'm saying. He is, man. This
whole
was a
season,
very
he's
common
the architect
episode.
of it.
Yeah, like he's been the shadow leader, because before I'm like, man, you're just a soldier now for your wife, but he's just, what happens when you disrespect your fixers, guys? They stop fixing, and they, you know, and
They try
start.
to fix you.
Let that be a
Yeah.
lesson to all of you.
Yeah, like that's I've been there, man. You're a number 2, and you get pushed around, told what to do, told to break things, and you're willing to do the hard things. That's the thing, is you are willing to do the hard things, and people take advantage of that. And I think he finally has said enough is enough, and now we get where we are. I want to talk about the entire underground resistance a little bit before we get to the end of the episode here, and talk about where things are going, because like we said with Robert Sims, he obviously planted a homie in there, and he's like, hey man, as soon as you get the opportunity to put Jules up for mayor, do it. So that's like an entire spark there. Then we have Lucas Kyle and this ground of degenerates that, like, from Supply to Walker, mechanical. Do you think, what are we doing here? Is there going to be another rebellion? We just had one here, I guess. Koff, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah, I don't quite understand what they're gearing up towards. I don't know if they're going to have quite the same, like, big rebellion, but maybe more like a sleeper cell where they're doing stuff in the shadows and trying to change things from behind the scenes. I don't know though. I enjoyed some of those scenes though with, like, what's his name, Patrick Kennedy. He's like, what are you fucking talking about? He's like, shut up, we're not talking about this right now. And Sim's just like, hush up, we don't have time for your bullshit right now, Patrick. So I like the interactions that the characters have. I just have no idea where that storyline's going.
Yeah, because that's just why I wanted to go to season 2 as a misstep, because the radio is such a huge plot point, and I'm gonna. This is a spoiler, not spoiler.
You got a little bit of this episode where Walker's talking to Bernard, and they figure out the different channels. Which, I'm sorry, but if you've had a radio for 40 fucking years and you haven't figured out how to change the channel, what?
Thank you. That's the point I wanted to bring up. Another thing Alfredo, again, this is a book, spoiler, not spoiler. The reason why the silo is built the way that it's supposed to be, and the way, like, mechanical's down at the bottom, is anyone with any mechanical or electronic inclination is as far away from IT as possible. That is the entire purpose of it. If you are not a soldier that gets along, you go to mechanical. If you are not smart enough, but mechanically smart, you go to mechanical. That was Walker. Walker discovers an entire other channel, and he actually first discovers Jules in Silo 17. So, like, Jules has been, like, usually talking to both silos when she's on the other side. Like, that's why I'm so confused at what season 2 happened, because it was so far separated. And this brings me back to my point of how things are made, because it's like, okay, maybe Rebecca Ferguson was so goddamn busy with Dune too, that, like, they kind of threw that season out there and they skipped a lot of stuff because it was just her and Steve Zahn, and they really never connected with the other silo. So it just kind of, yeah, it's like, is Walker the dumbest fucking mechanic who ever lived? Because you understand how frequencies work, but you don't realize there's other ones. It's just like a big question mark to me. I don't know. Anyway.
Different channels, what? I was just like, come on.
Yeah. Well, I need him to kill someone, man. We got the Stranger Things thing, man. I always say this. You need to kill half those motherfuckers down there. Patrick Kennedy, kill him. I think you need to kill Billings.
She's pointless at this point. Like, honestly.
I love when you get antsy with something, you're like, motherfucker's got to die. Maybe we start killing some kids.
Sacrifice the character.
It's always a solution. You can't send them off. Like, this isn't a rom-com. You can't be like, whoa, you know, I accepted
He moved to London.
I accepted a residency at a different hospital.
I love that we're just like watching Skeleton Crew. Jag's like, I don't know, Neil got to go.
Kill that little kid.
It's like, dude,
I just want what's best
in the show.
I just want what's best for the silo, Alfredo. I would kill somebody to do what's best for the silo, man. That's it.
So who would you want? Who would be your number one character to get rid of at this point?
Ooh, I like this.
Bernard.
I like this.
He was already dead. So besides him,
no. I think the one that would cause the most turmoil, Camille.
Because you got to find a new. Camille doesn't have a shadow.
Who's the
Camille
algorithm
doesn't have a
talking
shadow.
to?
Yeah.
That would cause
Bernard
the
just
most.
Bernard just steps back in, like, I'm alive.
I heard there's an opening on your left. Bernard comes out with a cane. I think Knox and Shirley, they are the most annoying, least helpful,
Yeah.
most emotionally impactful for the character.
Yeah.
So it's just like, how do you make everyone happy
Same.
as a viewer and you make your character feel worse?
Kill her two best friends.
They drown searching for light bulbs.
That's what
They
I'm doing.
drown searching for light bulbs.
Guys, this is how I write books in my head, 100%. Before we get out of here, we got to talk about the other elephant that's outside of the room. Daniel and Helen, everyone's least favorite couple. At the end,
They're not a couple. It wasn't a date.
You're right. It wasn't a date call for sure. They talk about some stuff, and the car does some stuff. It takes them away.
AI.
The fucking Waymo from hell.
The Waymo from hell, man. Elon Musk.
Dude, I
he
just
saw
saw,
that.
I just saw my.
This is
I
why
saw
you
my
should
first
smash a
Waymos
Waymo.
last week.
Oh,
I had
really?
never seen one, like,
Destroy
not in
them.
person. And there's so many. I went to West Palm Beach with my wife because her company was doing like a retreat there. We were in West Palm, dude. There's like, and they travel in packs. It's what do they do?
The Waymos do?
Yes, they're gonna.
Ew, I don't like that,
kill us,
dude.
There's
This is
usually
like-
3 of them together.
This is like Maximum Overdrive, but shitty. And that movie's already
Yeah,
shitty.
Do you guys know anyone that's used a Waymo?
No,
No.
I wouldn't trust a nigga who would use a Waymo.
I don't even like. What is it? Is it just
First
gonna
thing I would
deliver
do is try to
packages?
slash their tire. I would slash their fucking tires. Fuck
I
AI.
watched iRobot at a young age. Like,
Yes,
I saw that
watched
shit.
Terminator too. I knew.
Yeah.
I know
Puff's like, I
what's
saw Terminator out the womb.
yeah, Terminator is one thing. iRobot, that's literally a fucking plot point in there. That's like was a whole 15 minutes as a car chase because of AI shit in there. Like that's
And Will
I
Smith's
saw
like,
that
"I'd do
right
it
away and I
myself."
said fuck that. I saw Teslas. I was like, they're literally building them in the style of iRobot. Once they start sliding sideways, I'm done. I'm done with Earth. Anyway.
I'm done with it.
Anyway, what do you got any speculations or thoughts as to what that is? Do you think it's AI or do you think it's a person controlling AI? Or
I mean, this
Or a
is
per-
this has been something. It's something that can happen because of the way technology is going with the computers inside of cars now. That they are hackable, so it's possible this is somebody hacking in, controlling the vehicle. Maybe it's his friend from the NSA or the DOJ, whatever department he's with. Maybe getting him to go somewhere that he needs to meet him. I don't know. I'm still thinking it's going to be AI more than anything, because otherwise the person would have to be listening to them, know where they're going, know where they're at. It feels like they're gearing towards an AI storyline, AI going rogue, especially with the connection of the planes.
Are we doing it too much? Like, I know this is an old story, but like, it just kind of feels like that's become this feels like the 80s, you know, and like the Russians were the villain of every movie. And it's like, now we're in the 2020s and AI is the villain, but then like, we're going to hit the 2030s and AI is going to be writing these bitches. And it's like, humans are just going to be the villains again. And we're just going to recycle all this. I feel like we're doing it constantly now.
yeah.
You don't miss the
and
early 2000s
heavy-handed.
when every villain was Middle Eastern? Like Iron Man.
No,
No,
I don't.
You don't miss that?
no. Sorry.
I want to go back to Russia. It's like,
Yeah.
why is Rocky fighting a Russian? Because America, motherfucker. You know, let's break
I'm not gonna
him.
lie.
Wolverines.
I kind of like the villains being robots. I'm cool with that.
No, that's fine. Like, I'm cool with it. I just don't want it in everything, right? It's not even robots either. Like, that's almost at least fun because there's like a physical element to it. Like, now we're just getting whether it's Paradise
Algorithm.
or Silo or just like
Or
pretty much
Mercy.
or Mercy,
Speaking
which is
of
also
Rebecca
Rebecca Ferguson.
Ferguson.
It's just like AI kind of feels like it is the MacGuffin for everything at this point, right?
And I'm fatigued. Like, I'm fatigued at seeing bad AI because it's. Am I part of the problem? AI is
shit.
not
What if-
going AI's not going
We also-
anywhere.
We also have AI in X-Men 97 with the Sentinels and Nimrod. So it's literally everywhere.
That's a classic story. That I don't hate that. That's like
Just saying.
If it's already been done and they are just continuing a plot line that's been fucking 50 years in the making, I'm okay with that. But I'm just saying that, like, Silo, again, there was already a very good plot, guys. That's why it got a TV show. Someone read the books and they said, wow, that fucked. I want to pay someone to make this a TV show. And then someone read it. They're like, what if we do something else that everyone else is already doing? We got Rebecca Ferguson.
I think that's the worst part, is that we just finished watching a show in Paradise that we were a little disappointed by in the season that was so hinging on the fact that we need to be scared of AI. And then now we're doing it again.
At least with Paradise, they were brave enough, spoilers, brave enough to throw in a time travel storyline. Like, they were like, let's do something a little different. So at least there's that.
Yeah, they're like, we could do dumber.
I was gonna say, I'm not going to applaud their bravery on that one.
We could go lower.
Cobb's like, how could you be so brave and yet so stupid at the same time?
It's literally like, it's like, well, you know, Paradise dove headfirst into a 4-foot pool, but they did a backflip first.
They applaud their bravery.
So I've done that before. Not recommended.
That's my point, man. Sorry if you guys liked Paradise. We're still watching it. It's just clearly not as good. We don't
dislike it. Just the second season was not nearly as good as the first season.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
it actually was about the bunker for me.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So then what do we want to see then going forward for Silo that could, like, not that this is going in a bad direction, but if they go too far into the AI pool, like, are we less interested in this? Or is there, because Jack, I don't think you're spoiling anything by talking about stuff from the books, because it does feel like they've gone so far.
They're so far. They're so far.
Yeah. If they went in a different direction where it's not AI and it is back to whatever it is, people, a government entity, a controlling body of people, whatever the fuck it may be.
Lizard people controlling the world.
Cuff, you're not writing shit. What ends up being the thing that brings us back into it?
I want them to stop thinking that I need a murder mystery to be involved in this show. That's their problem, is they're stuck in this gear. And I feel like I'm not in the writer's room. We're only halfway through this season. I'll give them credit, you know, and I'm judging it a little early, but I feel like they have this thought, well, how do we get people sucked back in? Because season 2 was slow because of other reasons. It's not making me care about more. Like, I'm tired of people like, oh, I found something. Here's this. Oh my God, what does it mean? We keep falling into this circle. There's a plot there. And we started to get that with the rebellion. There's a plot from the book that moves things forward without mystery. It goes quickly to, okay, who put us in here? Why are we in here? To, oh, fuck, they're going to kill us. And I need them to switch to that. Like, I need that to not be a mystery to trickle out for other people. It's not so much the mystery of who's doing what. I need them to turn this into a mystery of how do we get us the fuck out of here and not die. Like, I need them to, that's why I always say you need to kill people. You need to cull. You need to cull plots and make it.
Which is why I'm wondering if this critical supply light bulb storyline is going to help push that plot forward, right? Like, we now have people in the underground, in the resistance, that know about the safeguard. They know that the entire silo is now in danger. They have to cap the stupid pipe. But then you also have the time constraint of, like, we're running out of critical supplies. So we're going to have to cap this pipe to then explore outwards to other silos to get what we need. So I feel like that's where they're bringing these two plot lines together. It's just right now they're very, very far apart, and it's probably going to take a couple episodes for them to converge.
You know, I wonder, this episode seemed to be very obvious and upfront about saying who is the greatest threat to the algorithm right now, and they were very, very obvious with saying Lucas Kyle is the least important. And I'm wondering if that's a bit more of a red herring, like we're supposed to not be paying attention to Lucas Kyle.
Lucas Kyle should be dead soon.
Well, there you go.
Well,
we'll see you guys next week.
Well, I'm not spoiling it. Like he was already dead at this point in the book. It's just like I'm literally saying that, like, I got to, like, he's not supposed to be alive. So, like, maybe you're right. They're going to bring him back for something. Like, I'm not, like, Lucas Kyle dies.
Ever a character in the
George was not a character. He was a mention. Like, he was like, their entire thing has been I like this in season 1 where they used the murder mystery to drive the plot. That wasn't, we never saw that in the book. Like, yeah, we did a murder case with Jules and she did really well for us. And that's all what was mentioned. And then they bring Jules back up and then they connect back to the case here. So like Lucas should be dead, meaning that like, I don't know why we're talking about him. Is my point here. You know, like it has to do something that's important and it could be a red herring or what's the because like to me, they have too many people alive. Like they have too many people alive that know too many things to fit the philosophy of this show. So
the only thing I can think that Lucas Kyle's still alive is he's going to discover a way to get to another silo that doesn't involve going on the surface.
Yes.
That's the only thing I can think
of.
Mm-hmm. Well, before I actually will spoil something if we talk any longer. So, because I'm just dying to talk about what I think is way more important, not Waymos. I don't think we have anything else. Alfredo, you got anything else you want to talk about?
No, I'm good, man.
Cough?
I'm good.
All right. Well,
yeah,
we'll be
shaking your head works great on podcasts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cough said no.
I got nothing.
Cough's got nothing. Well, that'll do it, folks. We'll be back here on Thursday right after Silo releases. Then, like we mentioned before, we've got new shows popping up, Lanterns. We're going to finish X-Men 97. And, of course, we got House of the Dragon up until Lanterns starts. And on Tuesdays, we do have those premium episodes. We didn't have one this week because we were traveling and doing, day job stuff, but those will be creeping back up as well. So make sure to join our premium subscribers. It's me, Jagger May. That's Alfredo Brown. And that's Matt Kaufhammer. And you just watched a Silo recap. Love you guys, and I'll see you next time.